Hey, VC, what's up? It's me, yours truly, back to do something I haven't done in quite some time, which is post a video, recent finds video. Um, yeah, I mean, been a while since I've done a video here, and I mean, much like many of you, you know how life gets busy sometimes and all that good stuff, so I haven't been posting as much. I still been kind of checking in and following people here and there, checking out videos. Just haven't kind of been, commenting and being as active and all that good stuff. But definitely still kind of keeping up with you guys. Um, yeah, life's just been kind of busy. And I guess on top of that too, really over the last month or two, I just haven't been purchasing a lot of stuff either. I'm still going through trying to narrow down my collection and selling stuff, and kind of for the most part, only when I sell do I end up buying something. So that can take things a little bit longer. But uh, but yeah, I have some really nice finds. A couple things I'm really excited about. Um, Matter of fact, there's one in here where any of you that have really followed me over the past couple years, you'll know that this particular artist is one that, not exaggerating, I know at least 8 to 9 times in different videos I've said over and over, I wish they would press something by this artist on vinyl, and they finally did. And so that was a really, really exciting one that I'll share here in a moment as well. But, uh, but yeah, other than that, just kind of, enjoying my collection as is. Been listening to a lot of music. I finally got my entire collection switched over to the flip uh, bins, if you will. So that's kind of nice. Maybe I'll do a room tour sometime here in the near future and just kind of show you my new layout with being able to do that, which is kind of nice. But but yeah. Other than that, just as far as what's been going on, musically and all that type of stuff. Again, a couple artists I really been digging lately and all that good stuff. Working on some new box sets as well. Some of my homemade box sets. Maybe I'll talk about that in a little bit. And have seen a number of good concerts lately. Um, have gotten some really good deals on some tickets and through some work and stuff like that. There's some discounts and other things that we've gotten, so I've been able to see a lot more shows than maybe I typically have. So some of the ones that kind of stand out, I guess I did get a chance to see the Slayer, Anthrax, Testament, Napalm Death, Lamb of God show, which was really good. Um, I mean, it was cool seeing Slayer. I've seen them before, so it was kind of vintage Slayer. Um, Lamb of God, I'm not a huge fan of theirs, which I was surprised they went on, fourth in the order. They were right before Testament. I'm sorry, right before Slayer came on. I'm just not a huge fan of theirs. I have a couple of their albums that have a couple of things on it that I like, kind of thing, but just never been a huge fan of theirs. But I was somewhat impressed watching them live. So I mean, it was definitely a good show to see. But yeah, definitely. I've seen Anthrax before too, but yeah, seeing Testament was the one that I really kind of enjoyed. Cause I'd never seen them before, and I don't know, Testament is just made for the stage, if you will. So I just always wanted to see them live. So that was definitely good. And then, oh well, I have my shirt on. Yeah, Cyndi Lauper. Had a chance to see her, and she was fantastic as always. I love Cyndi, as well as Rod Stewart. Had a chance to see him too. Um, so yeah, that was pretty cool. Journey and Def Leppard was here a couple days ago, but I didn't get a chance to see them because I wasn't, spending $100 on a ticket for that. But and then hopefully, I think in the next few weeks, well, actually, I know we have tickets for Counting Crows and Live, and then Godsmack will be coming up here in about a month or two as well. So, yeah, so definitely been kind of some good music as far as concerts over the past month or so, which has been kind of nice. Um, but yeah, let me just kind of jump into some of the vinyl finds here. I'm going to start with this one, which is The War on Drugs. This is Lost in the Dream. Um, and this is one too where I kind of have to, myself, because this is just a band that I've slept on for so long, and I'm sure for many of you, this is probably a band that you know, checked out, you dug them, you've been listening to them forever, and now they're just kind of, maybe even the back burner because you've played them out so much, and I'm really just discovering them now. And partly just kind of due to my own kind of personal bias. Um, I'm not much of a fan, if you will, of the what I like to label sometimes as hipster rock, if you will. Uh, you know, again, I can acknowledge I have some built-in biases that when I see, you know, 25-year-olds or 20-year-olds with skin-tight jeans wearing boots that look like they came from the 1920s, you know, with some hat with a little short bill in some way, shape, or form, and then some Buddy Holly glasses. It's like the first thing I think about is, you know, that's okay. I'm good. And so for whatever reason, and again, I'm kind of talking about in the musical world as well. So for some reason, I just kind of subconsciously put the war of drugs in that category, or the war on drugs in that category, and just never really paid attention to them. And I was in the store, and this was, gosh, this was months ago, and the guy was playing, is it a Deeper Meaning? Is that the name of the album? A Deeper Understanding. And that album just blew me away. And I was like, you know, holy cow, this is like, you know, getting back to real music. Like this is, you know, sounding, you know, Pink Floydish. This is sounding, you know, there's some Bob Dylan elements, and it just kind of blew me away. And so this was the next album I kind of had on my list to pick up, and so I finally got a copy of that, and kind of the same thing. I mean, it's just, gosh, these guys just go back to music. And I remember the first song that really kind of floored me, in case there's someone else that's really behind the eight ball like me, but the first song that really kind of blew me away by them was Strangest Thing off of A Deeper Understanding. I mean, that song just blew my mind. So yeah, I got to shoot myself in the head for sleeping on this band for so long. You know, fantastic band. Another awesome reissue, and this arguably is my favorite album by Motorhead, which is Sacrifice. Great album here. Probably not one of the more well-known Motorhead albums. It's kind of cool that they reissued it here, but this to me is kind of, I mean, you know, you never get away from Ace of Spades and stuff like that, which is just kind of, you know, pinnacle Motorhead type of thing. But overall, from front to back, this era of Motorhead, specifically this album, is the Motorhead I really love, because this to me is more where they're not quite as much in their bluesy, sleazy Jack Daniels rock and roll that, you know, Motorhead kind of is, and this is really where they're more on their metal game, in my opinion. And so yeah, this right here is a bad album. So it was awesome to see that had been pressed on vinyl. Another addition to the Earth, Wind, and Fire collection. As you can see here, this is Last Days, Last Times. One of their early albums. And again, those of you that know Earth, Wind, and Fire, you know, one of the greatest R&B bands of all time. Too Short. This is Short Dogs in the House. This is the Record Store Day reissue. I had an original copy of this years ago when I first started my purge, and it was, you know, kind of in rough shape, so I got rid of it. And that was kind of before the reissue, so I was all worried about, oh my gosh, I got rid of that album. I'll probably never get another copy if I'm not willing to pay what the original pressings were. And then they reissued it, which was freaking awesome. So I used some trade credit the other day and picked that up, which is nice. And just, you know, it's Too Short, just vintage Too Short. One of my favorite old school hip hop artists of all time. Another good find here, Joan Jett, Bad Reputation. You can see this is a Japanese pressing. Another nice pickup, as I've been wanting to really build on my Japanese collection, and found this in a local store too. And again, perfect mint condition. and it was only $9, which was freaking awesome. And here's the one I was talking about earlier about the artist that I've been wanting to have something pressed on vinyl by, and they finally got around to it. The one and only Gillian Welch. I was so excited when I saw this on eBay. But as you can see, this is a Soul Journey. And I hope this isn't the last one. I hope they really start digging into her catalog and getting all of her stuff on vinyl. They had her most recent album, I think it's the Harvester in Sorrow, and that had been pressed on vinyl, but none of her other stuff. And there's about at least 3 to 4 solid albums by her that I would just love to get on vinyl, and sure as crap, this is one of them right here. So that was extremely exciting. And again, for those of you maybe that don't know Gillian Welch, if you have listened to or heard or love the "Oh Brother Where Art Thou" soundtrack, you know, that's the feel that you're gonna get from her on this. Matter of fact, she sang on 2 or 3 songs on that "Oh Brother Where Art Thou" soundtrack. But my favorite song off of this one, if you want to kind of check it out, is "Look at Miss Ohio." Fantastic song. That'll give you a really good idea of what Gillian's like. But yeah, this is oh man. Yeah, the last year or so with reissues have just been really, really awesome to me, because I finally got my Gillian Welch, and you know, they did Concrete Blonde for me, they did the Cranberries for me, they did the Sundays for me, like all the ones that I've been just wanting for so long, and so that was really, really awesome. Another one here too, which is a nice reissue for metalheads that couldn't get original pressings. Sanctuary, Refuge Denied, another fantastic reissue. This is just, you know, just good old-fashioned metal right here. I'm sure you guys are pretty familiar with this album. But so that was another very exciting reissue. Another one in from another box set that I'm working on, which is a Whitesnake box set. And this is Slip of the Tongue. And for anyone who really needs a copy of this, I have another copy that really is in pretty good shape. It was just, you know, that there was just enough noise in the album that I was just like, I had to force myself to purge it. But I think most people would look at it and say the album is, you know, darn near perfect. But when I found this mint copy, I just felt like I'll go ahead and replace it. So if anyone really needs a good copy of this, let me know. But yeah, you know, there's a Slip of the Tongue, and you know, Fool for Your Lovin', Slip of the Tongue, all that good stuff. And another, well, actually, before I get to that, I just got 4 more here. Ohio Players. This is Back. And, you know, just some more kind of old school, you know, 70s type funk. You know, it's kind of how I define the Ohio Players. Even though this one came out actually in the late 80s, but 70s to 80s. But yeah, Ohio Players are definitely a band that I love, and one of the things I really I've been doing a lot of is trying to find nice, clean, mint copies of their stuff, because you can find Ohio Players stuff all over the place, but they're always just kind of really beat up. You know, that's always like the tough thing, is to find mint copies of things. So I was definitely happy to find this one. And just like all their other album covers, there's some half-naked girl on the front cover, and that's what they stuck to, and that's what they did on pretty much every album cover. But I mean, no really huge hits off of this that most people would know unless you truly are, you know, an Ohio Players fan. And the last 3 here are 3 that actually are going in part of a box set that I'm currently working on, where I'm making a White Zombie, Rob Zombie box set. And as soon as I get that done, of course, I'll share it with you guys. But first one here we have is Rob Zombie Live. So it's kind of a nice, cool piece that's recently come out. And the one thing I will say about this, because I was a little bit worried actually, I'm sorry, this is Astro Creep 2000 live. So it's the entire album with the live version. And then some more Zombie here. This is actually, I guess, technically the soundtrack to 31. kind of another twisted zombie movie. I do like his horror movies, though. I mean, I think he does a pretty good job of writing and directing some of these movies, and of course the characters. You know, his daughter is such an awesome actor too. Everyone, all the actors in the zombie movies are just pretty impressive. They do such a great job of creating the characters. But that's kind of the soundtrack there. And then the last one here is just Rob Zombie Live, or Zombie Live, I guess is what it's technically called. And I was a little bit worried too, because again, I wanted these for my box, for the box set that I'm working on, but at the same time, I didn't want to buy something that I actually didn't like, because you know that's kind of one of the rules within my collection. And so I was always worried too, because I've seen Rob Zombie live a number of times, and it's great seeing him, and you know the energy and the spectacle that is Zombie is the coolest thing in the world. But within a lot of the shows too, at least the ones that I saw, he never really made a strong effort to replicate the songs the way they were recorded and mastered, if you will. You know, so there's already a lot of kind of mumbo jumbo in his lyrics, and just kind of the strange things that he makes up. You know, the voodoo beat on the mind, the dig's too deep to find, something's gotta give, baby, racketeer, a star, you are just what you are, don't play the misty bass. Like, what the hell are you talking about? You have no idea, but it's freaking rocking. So sometimes, you know, when I saw him live and he's, you know, giving those type of lyrics, but he's not really putting an effort into singing them, but just kind of, you know, kind of roofing through it, I've always kind of felt like, a live recording may not be something you'd actually want to listen to. It'd be something you want to see, but it wouldn't be something that you want to just like sit and listen to. But I was, I'm going through all that to say, I was very pleasantly surprised when I played this, because it was just the opposite. You know, the songs actually, you know, sounded like they were putting effort into replicating the original recordings, which was kind of nice. So yeah, I was very impressed, and actually really ended up liking this a lot, which is good. So I think clearly when they were recording this for the album, he was actually making an effort to do a good live recording. So definitely one worth getting in my opinion. Nice 2 LP set, and you know, kind of covers everything. Last thing I'll show here is just a few CDs. I've been picking up quite a few CDs lately as well, just various things here and there. And that actually there is a CD box set that I'm working on now, and I will share that one with you whenever I get that completed. But just a few CDs I picked up that kind of stood out to me a little bit. One was this one here, which was kind of cool to find in a $2 bin. This is the Best of Johnny Cash, Wanted Man. And this is a Zounds Music Gold CD, which was really nice. It was actually sealed. And so, yeah, I mean, that's a great, you know, it's a gold-plated CD. I mean, great $2 find, considering these are selling for, you know, $30 to $40. So that was a great $2 find. Another one, too, that I found in a $2 bin. Chicago. You can see their Japanese pressing. Again, awesome mint condition. I just have no idea why they threw it in the $2 bin, but it was my pleasure to purchase. And same with this one here. Thanks for You. This was a 20th anniversary of CBS and Sony Group. So it just had, you know, Billy Joel, Bob Skaggs, I think Garfunkel was on here, and it's just really studio recordings of some of their, you know, the bigger songs or whatever. But again, another great find for $2 in perfect condition. And I'm just showing this one because this is a CD that I've searched for so long. Every time I've seen it online, it's been like, you know, $20, $30, and I never understood why. But yeah, so again, in that same, I think that same store, I got the $2 CDs there. I think I found this for like $8, and I was like, oh yeah, I will definitely pay $8 for that. But this is Alexander O'Neal, live in Minneapolis. He's I mean, just an 80s icon from the R&B world, if you will. He and Sherelle used to do a lot of stuff together as well. But there's a live version of the song If You Were Here Tonight on here that I think is just amazing. I've had it in iTunes forever, and so I just wanted to get a copy of the CD, so it was awesome to find that. And I guess another group that I kind of saw perform here not too long ago, as you can see, this one's autographed. This is the Wilhelms, I'm sorry, Contortionist Live, or Contortionist Blues, I'm sorry. And just kind of a, you know, 2-guitar, folky type of thing. One of the guitars too, which is kind of cool, I think, because I was listening to a couple of their things, and I really got kind of a like a Neil Young, you know, Comes a Time country kind of feel from what they were doing and the stuff that they had written. And even the way the guy was moving on stage, it reminded me a lot of Neil Young. And he also, you know, he played the harmonica and, you know, played the acoustic and all of that. And so I got a chance to see him after the show again, which is kind of cool. And they signed my CD for me. And I asked him too. I was like, you know, something tells me you're probably a fan of Neil Young. And he's like, oh yeah, I love him to death. And I was like, yeah, because it was just kind of, it was oozing all out of you. So, but yeah, you know, just kind of a fun little thing, a kind of a little up and coming duo. So just thought I'd share that really quick. But other than that, there you go, VC. That's about all that's going on in my world. Yeah, like I said, as I kind of get some of these box sets done, I definitely want to share those with you because, you know, I have so much fun making those things. And maybe I'll do a room tour here sometime in the near future to kind of show you the new arrangement and stuff like that as well. But anyway, as always, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry it's been so long since I've had a chance to touch base, but we will talk to you soon. All right, take care, guys.